Think about the last major platform shift you experienced as a business owner. When Facebook changed its algorithm a few years ago, organic reach collapsed overnight. Businesses that had spent years building their Facebook following woke up one morning and found their posts reaching almost nobody without paying to boost them. When Instagram shifted its feed from chronological to algorithmic, engagement dropped. The rules changed and businesses scrambled to adapt. Then TikTok arrived and rewrote what content was supposed to look like until governments started threatening to ban it entirely. In the last year, Google's AI overviews landed, and suddenly the website traffic businesses had spent years building through SEO started declining because people were getting answers without having to click through to their websites at all. And through every single one of those shifts, one thing remained constant. The businesses with an email list kept talking to their audience directly, without asking a platform's permission and without paying to reach people who had already said that they wanted to hear from them. And that's not a coincidence. That's the most important lesson in digital marketing. Your email list is the one marketing asset that no algorithm can take away from you. And in this episode, we're going to talk about why that matters more right now than any other point in the history of digital marketing. Welcome to the Digital Success for Business podcast. I'm Leanne Cohens, founder of Marketing Leap, and for over 13 years, I've helped business owners build marketing that actually works in the real world, not just in theory, not just on a dashboard, in actual revenue. And in this episode, we're talking about something that I'm really passionate about, something that has been true since the first day I started Marketing Leap in 2013 and becomes even more true with every single platform shift, algorithm update, and AI disruption that lands in the digital space. Your email list, specifically why the businesses that will weather every change coming over the next 5 years are the ones that have built and are consistently nurturing a list of real people who have actively chosen to hear from them. Now, if you've been listening to the last few episodes, you'll know that we've been building a picture of how much the marketing landscape has shifted. We've talked about why 90-day plans fail. We've talked about the 3-layer marketing system and paid ads as a controllable tap. We've talked about AI search and zero-click behavior. And we've talked about your website as a conversion system rather than a digital brochure. This episode is where it all connects, because every single one of those strategies, the content, the SEO, the ads, the website, is designed to do one thing, and that is bring the right people into your world. And the moment they arrive, the most valuable thing that you can do is give them a reason to stay on a platform that you own and in a channel that nobody can switch off overnight. And that channel is email. By the end of this episode, you'll understand exactly why, backed by data that will genuinely surprise you, exactly what to do if your list is currently sitting neglected and underutilized or barely exists at all. So to understand why your email list matters more right now than any other point in marketing history, I want to take you back. Not just to understand where we've been, but to see the pattern. Because when you see the pattern of what's happening right now, it makes complete sense. Now, I've been in business for over 30 years, and across that time, I have watched the rules of marketing change not once, but a number of times. And we are now living through the third significant marketing era. The first era was the Yellow Pages era. Now, my first business was a beauty salon inside Pacific Fair Shopping Centre here on the Gold Coast. To get clients, I walked store to store, introduced myself, and handed out cards and flyers, one relationship at a time. And if you wanted to be found past your immediate network, you bought a Yellow Pages ad, a big one, if you could afford it, because the size of that ad told people something. It told them that you were real, you were established, and you had skin in the game. The investment itself was a signal of legitimacy. Your marketing assets during that era were physical. Flyers, direct mail, letterbox drops, those were your list. The stack of addresses that you could reach directly. The pile of cards from people who said they wanted to hear from you. Expensive to build, valuable to own, and completely in your control. Your advertising was the Yellow Pages, the local newspaper, and the magazine. You paid for placement and you reached whoever was reading. And nobody could take your client list away from you. It lived in a filing cabinet. It was yours. Now, the second era was the social media era. So around 2015, everything shifted. Visibility moved from investment to activity. Facebook pages, Instagram, blogs, ads. The more consistently you showed up, the more visible you became. Anyone could publish, anyone could advertise for almost nothing. And this was extraordinary for small business. Suddenly you could reach thousands of people without a Yellow Pages budget. You could build an audience of followers, likes, and connections that actually felt like a list. And it felt like yours. But what most business owners didn't realize at the time was it wasn't yours. Your audience belonged to the platform. And the moment Facebook decided that organic reach was no longer commercially viable for them, businesses that had spent years building their Facebook following woke up to find their posts reaching almost nobody without having to pay to boost them first. The audience that they thought they owned was rented, and the landlord had changed the terms overnight. And in fact, right now, Facebook organic reach for most business pages sits at just 1 to 2% of your total followers in 2026. The same pattern repeated across every platform. Instagram changed its algorithm, TikTok arrived and governments threatened to ban it, LinkedIn shifted its reach, Twitter became X and rewrote its rules entirely. Every single time, the businesses that had an email list kept talking to their audience. The ones that had only built on social media platforms had to start again. And we're now in the third era, the AI era. Credibility and trust is now the currency. With AI, anyone can publish anything instantly. AI tools can generate 1,000 blogs, social captions, or ad variations in an afternoon. Content has effectively become free and easy to produce. The question that your potential client is now asking is no longer, can I find them? It's, can I trust them? And in a world where AI search is answering questions before anyone ever visits your website, where 80% of Google searches end without a single click, and where content volume has exploded while trust has declined, the most valuable thing a business can own is a direct line to real people who've chosen to hear from them. Not followers, not connections, not an algorithm-dependent audience that can disappear when a platform changes its mind or its rules, a list. Your email list is the Yellow Pages era filing cabinet of the AI era. It's yours. It lives in your platform, and no algorithm decides who sees it, and no platform can switch it off. And the people on it chose to be there. This is the foundation of a marketing system that survives every era change, every platform shift, every AI disruption, and every algorithm update that will come in the next 5 years. And here's the number that makes this real. Email marketing still delivers between $36 to $42 for every dollar spent, outperforming paid search, social advertising, and displayed ads combined. Not by a small margin, by a significant one. 80% of marketers say email is more important than social media for customer retention, and 81% of small and mid-sized businesses rely on email as their primary customer acquisition channel. This is not a channel in decline. This is the channel that has outlasted every prediction of its death and quietly kept delivering the highest return of any digital marketing investment available. The businesses that understood this in Era 2 built lists while they built their social following. The ones that understand it now in Era 3 will be the ones still talking directly to their audience when the next platform shift arrives. And it will. It always does. The problem with most SME email lists, though, is they exist, but they're not working. A list of past clients that hasn't been emailed in 6 months, a MailChimp account with 200 subscribers and a 12% open rate, a database that's sitting inside a booking system that's never been connected to a nurture sequence, contacts scattered across 3 different platforms that have never been brought together, Sound familiar? The problem isn't the list, it's the intention behind it. And most business owners treat email as a broadcast tool, something they use when you've got something to sell, which means subscribe is hear from you when you want something from them, and nothing in between. And when that's the pattern, open rates drop, trust erodes, and the list quietly becomes a liability instead of an asset. So a healthy email list has 3 things: consistent contact, not daily, not even necessarily weekly, but you're regular enough that your subscribers remember who you are and why they signed up with you. For most service businesses, that means at a minimum twice a month, enough to stay present without becoming noise, with genuine value between the offers. Every email doesn't need to sell something. In fact, the emails that build the most trust are the ones that give something useful with no ask attached. Could be a practical tip, it could be a real insight, a behind-the-scenes moment, something that makes the reader think that was worth opening, and a clear reason to stay, which starts with a clear reason to join in the first place. And that brings us to how you actually grow your list. The fastest way to grow a quality list is a lead magnet that solves one specific problem for one specific person. Not a generic guide, not a broad checklist that anyone could find anywhere, something targeted enough that when your ideal client sees it, they think, that is exactly what I need right now. For Sarah, a business owner trying to get her marketing organised, that might be a 90-day content calendar template with AI prompts already built in. For David, an established business owner evaluating whether he needs a fractional CMO, it might be a marketing audit framework that shows him exactly where his pipeline gaps are. Or for Anya, focusing on her website and SEO, it might be a checklist of the 10 things her website needs to rank in AI search right now. One problem, one person, one resource that delivers immediate value. That resource then sits behind a simple opt-in on your website. It gets promoted on your social content. It gets mentioned at the end of your podcast episodes. It becomes the bridge between your content and your list. And this is where AI becomes a genuine asset rather than just a content generator, because AI can help you build that lead magnet faster than you can think. You have the expertise. The knowledge is already inside your business and your head. AI simply helps you organize it, structure it, and turn it into something polished and useful without spending weeks on it. You can talk through the concept, capture your thinking using speech to text, then use AI to structure that expertise into a clear, formatted, valuable resource. What used to take days now takes hours. What used to require a designer and a copywriter can now be produced by you as a founder with a clear brief and the right prompts. But here's the most important distinction. AI organizes your thinking. It doesn't replace it. The expertise still has to come from you. The insight still has to come from your experience. The specific, credible, trustworthy content that makes someone hand over their email address is still a human output. AI is simply the collaborator that helps you structure and present it faster. It helps you organize and understand information, and it can break down complex ideas into digestible pieces, highlighting the most important points and surface connections that you might have missed. AI helps you create faster. It can draft, structure, and format your expertise into a lead magnet, a nurture sequence, or a content series in a fraction of the time it used to take. And AI helps you refine your work. It can review your writing for clarity, tighten your messaging, and make sure what you've produced actually lands the way that you intended. But the thinking still starts with you. The expertise still comes from you. And the trust your list builds over time, that's entirely human. Beyond the lead magnet, there are 3 other list growth strategies worth building into your system right now: your podcast and your YouTube content. Every episode should have one clear opt-in offer attached to it, a resource, a checklist, a workbook that extends the value of the episode and gives listeners a reason to join your list. That's exactly what our free resources page at Marketing Leap does. Your existing network, past clients, Past inquiries, referral partners, event connections, people who already know you and have given permission to stay in touch are your warmest possible subscribers. A simple personal email inviting them to join your list with a clear reason why it's worth their time will always outperform a cold opt-in campaign. And your social content, every piece of content you produce should have a pathway to your list. Not a hard sell, just a natural step, such as, if this was useful, here's a resource that goes deeper. That single sentence consistently placed compounds quietly over time, because here's what a growing, well-nurtured email list actually does for your business. Businesses with strong first-party data strategies, which is what this is, are reporting nearly 3 times better customer retention and 1.5 times higher marketing ROI than those still relying on platform-dependent reach. And marketers who segment their lists and communicate consistently have seen up to a 760% increase in revenue compared to those treating email as an occasional broadcast tool. That's not a marginal improvement. That's a fundamentally different business outcome from the same audience. So you've got a lead magnet. Someone opts in. Now what? Most businesses send the resource and then nothing. The subscriber goes cold. The opportunity disappears. They forget who you are. Your nurture sequence doesn't have to be complex. For most SMEs, 3 to 5 emails over 2 weeks is enough to build genuine trust before you make any offer at all. Email 1 delivers the resource immediately with a warm human welcome. Not a corporate onboarding sequence, just a real note from you about why you created it and what you hope they take from it. Email 2 arrives 2 or 3 days later with one practical tip that extends the value of the resource they've downloaded. No ask, just usefulness. And email 3 shares a real client story, a specific situation, a specific outcome. Trust through proof. And then email 4 introduces a clear offer. Not your entire service menu, one thing. The most logical next step for someone who's just consumed your lead magnet and your content. And email 5 is a simple follow-up, a check-in, a question, something that invites a reply and starts a real conversation. Now that sequence runs automatically. It should work while you sleep, while you're in client delivery, while you're running a meeting or recording a podcast. It is the system that converts a cold subscriber into a warm lead without you having to be present for every step. And remember, while AI can help you write every single one of those emails faster than you think, helping you to draft, refine, and personalize, so what used to take a full day now will take a focused hour with the right prompts, the strategy behind the sequence, the offer it leads to, the story it tells, the trust it builds, that still requires human judgment every time. So if you're listening to this and thinking, I know I need this, but I don't know where to start, that's exactly what the VIP Strategy Intensive is for. In 4 focused hours, we build your complete 90-day marketing roadmap. That includes your lead magnet concept, your nurture sequence structure, content pillars, and the AI prompts to execute all of it consistently without the overwhelm. Everything connected, everything intentional, and everything pointed towards actual revenue. 4 hours. And I only have 3 spots per month. So book at marketingleap.net because your email list is not a nice to have. In the AI era, it's the single most resilient marketing asset that your business can own because social media can be switched off. Algorithms change without warning, platforms come and go, but a list of real people who choose to hear from you, nurtured consistently with genuine value, belongs to you. So start building it intentionally and start nurturing consistently. And if you need help structuring the lead magnet, the sequence, or the overall system behind it, that's exactly what we do here at Marketing Leap. So head to marketingleap.net to book your VIP Strategy Intensive or inquire about our fractional CMO service. The link is in the show notes and in the YouTube description below. And please, if this episode gave you something useful, please share it with another business owner who needs to hear it. The best compliment that you can give is by putting this podcast in front of someone that it might actually help. Now make sure that you're subscribed, because the next episode tackles something that every SME owner I speak to is quietly struggling with right now. And that is too many marketing options and not enough clarity on which ones actually matter for their specific business. Which platform, which content, which strategy, which investment. And in the next episode, we cut through all of it. No jargon, no overwhelm, just a clear, honest framework for working out exactly where your marketing focus should be right now based on where your business actually is. That one is definitely worth waiting for. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in to the Digital Success for Business podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on YouTube for even more tips.